Alright, guys. I'm back to do another episode. I do have something to talk about in this episode, thanks to a certain development that happened today. So that's what I'm gonna do. Alright. I saw that it was snowing outside, and you know, it's 8 p.m. So you know what that means. We can try to catch a coelacanth. We'll go back and forth between the beach and the river. Didn't I already... Isabelle, please. Ugh. Actually, yeah, we'll check down here. At least it has a... Oh, Gulliver again, alright. He comes a lot in this game. It used to annoy me. The thing is, I never disliked Gulliver. At first, I was just not as knowledgeable about other countries, so getting him would stress me out, but, you know, I've gotten better at his little geometry. I almost said geometry. Geography quizzes. I'm not Lizzie. I'm Shauna. Oh, the over there. You know what that means. Purple, not purple, green, Ethan. Brain. Work! My brain's not working. Yes, Gulliver, you're a hopeless romantic. I can damn well try. My brain's not working today, or right now. You know Rico Harbor too, Green Ethan. Their hips lowered. Alright. Is it who? Okay, I have no idea what the cost. Oh, Mary Aksha dolls. Oh, okay, Russia. Russia. Yep. Yep, and they keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. This is the country of Anton and Mikhail Levin. Interesting. Yes! What's spazaba? I think that means thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. You kind of have to know a little bit of Russian if you're a fan of a character that's Russian American. Alright, let's see if we can get a coelacanth and a stringfish. We'll catch this fish too. Now, I fucking love the coelacanth with a fiery burning passion. It's just such a badass special fish that you can only get when there's precipitation. Yeah, and sorry if I'm a little chaotic and... Ooh, is this new? Oh, I already caught a football fish. For... Huh, interesting. I apologize if I'm in a chaotic mood. This has just been kind of a roller coaster of a day for me. But yeah, Gulliver, he's actually grown on me in the last couple of months. Like, I never disliked him, but I didn't think too much of him either. But yeah, I'll do a little bit of rambling. I'll do a little bit of, you know, like I said, I'll ramble a little bit about, well, Green Ethan, you probably already know what I'm planning on rambling about, because this is recorded on the day a particular game was announced, but, you know, I don't really like to ramble when I'm fishing, because it messes me up, so I'll... Wait. I do not like dabs. They are annoyingly common. Alright, let's go to the river. See if we can get a stringfish. We'll see if we can get a stringfish or a coelacanth. I'll try for a portion of this recording, and if I can't, then I'll do something, focus on something else while I ramble. Have I caught a dace yet? I have not. Alright. Good. I want to get new stuff. But yeah, my brain is just on, I don't know, it's just kind of milling 1,000 miles per hour. Have I caught a dung beetle? Alright, good. These beetles can be a bit tricky to catch, because you have to hit this, position your net on the snowball just right, or it'll get scared away. You'll scare the shit out of it. Pun very much intended, because it's a dung beetle. That's a synonym for poop. Walker, you're everywhere. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, but I installed a mod for this emulator that makes my town kind of Valentine's Day themed. So if you're wondering why I have cherry blossom trees in the winter, well, that's why. Walker, you're in my way. Please. Alright, and yes, I mentioned this about the stringfish, but you know, they're supposed to be that size. Same with the coelacanth. Or it could be a tuna, which we also need. No! Walker, can you please get out of my way? Okay, that's an olive. Okay, the olive flounder and the dab do have slight differences, but the game will try to trick you, and it'll be like, I caught a dab! Oh no, that's an olive flounder! Very funny game. Oh, come on! I hit the button just in time, and you know it. I'm sure you could figure it out by now, but okay, I think that's new. But you know, you have to, well, it would be the A button on a 3DS, but on the keyboard it translates to the X key. I press the, you know, the X key when you hear the loud bloop. But even if you do it just in time, the bigger, more valuable, more rare fish, you know, will still just get away. It's honestly very, 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 very frustrating. Walker is pissing me off. I may come back. I may save and quit the game and reshuffle my villagers. I don't know. But we'll just come to the river for now. See if we can catch the dreaded stringfish. At least the coelacanth, you know, it could be caught any time of year. The stringfish, on the other hand, is only available from December through February. Which, again, I am traveling, but... Or, you know, time traveling, but... I don't want to mess with it too much. I want to try to maintain a steady flow through the year. Or, I'll probably time travel backwards to prevent weeds. We'll see. It's a crap. Oh, I mean a carp. Look at that little dung beetle. They're dumbasses, because sometimes they'll scare themselves away, because they'll push the snowball into a body of water, or down a cliff. Watch. You gonna push it into the river, buddy? Huh? Huh? I'm gonna laugh. Oh. Why is that so funny? They're dumbasses. They can't see where they're going. And they probably have poor AI. You know, they're not programmed to know what's in front of them. They just kind of go wherever, like a blind bat. Alright, I guess I can stay on the left side of the beach. Or maybe Walker will come back up. Rudy, please, I'm busy. Actually, where's my shovel? Is it... I'll probably trap him. I don't know. You know that, oh shit, sound effect? That's what I imagine a dung beetle saying when it scares itself away. When it pushes, like, you know, pushes a snowball, like, you know, off a cliff or into a body of water. It gets scared away, and it's like, oh shit! Yeah, they're not down here. I want a coelacanth so bad. I love them. And I love stringfish too, but but I need to worry more about the stringfish. Because, you know, a coelacanth will probably be a little bit easier. I mean, you know, you can catch. Well, I don't know, because you can catch a stringfish regardless of the weather. But it's only out for a small portion of the year. You know, coelacanth are only out when it's raining, but, you know, they're out year-round. So there's just a bunch of, like, different rules that you have to follow to get certain bugs to spawn. Or in this case, fish. Walker, please. You're in my way. I don't even know if I've talked to him yet. That's probably better that way, so we don't make him sad. Walker, please. There. Mm. Alright, so okay, alright. I got an idea. I got a wonderful idea. Since the string fish are being stubborn up there, at least the big fish on the beach are spawning, but the string fish are being stubborn. So what I'll do is I'll look for string fish, and while I do that, while I look, I'll ramble about Mocharia, the deluxe. There we go. Yeah. Alright, so, yep, you know, because, you know, I'm not going to premiere this until, you know, tomorrow at the soonest, because, you know, Green Ethan, you're going to do another premiere, because I wanted to take I wasn't in the mood to premiere for a couple of days, but I kind of I got the motivation to finally do another one, so, yeah, so this is as of April 28th, but, you know, we finally got an announcement for a new Gameria, or rather a remaster. You know, because, you know, Flipline has been drip feeding us for months now. You know, because we got Jack Smith, Weapons and Warriors, you know, that was in May, and it's already, we're already in the end of April, so, you know, I'm happy that we finally got something. You know, I thought it was gonna be either Burgeria Deluxe or, you know, Cupcakeria Deluxe, because, you know, sometimes, there are exceptions, but sometimes, you know, Flipline does tend to alternate between sweet and savory, and, you know, we got savory, you know, last time, which was Pizzeria Deluxe. So, they're maintaining the alteration between sweet and savory for now. But, you know, I am pretty surprised that it's Mocharia. I thought we were either going to get, you know, Burgeria Deluxe or... Because, you know, that game is outdated. And then, you know, Cupcakeria Deluxe. Because, you know, that game's not as outdated as Burgeria Deluxe, but it's still, you know, the most outdated out of the Sweets game. Or, you know, the Sweets games. And yeah, and, you know, Mocharia, on the other hand, you know, it's the third most recent to-go game. After that, we got Cluckeria to go. And then, you know, after that, we got Paletteria to go. I can't believe it's already been 5 years, though, since Mocharia, you know, to go came out. I guess they've waited, you know, shorter for other remasters. But, you know, it's just kind of wild, because when we were little kids, you know, it felt like, you know, like a couple of years, like, let's say just 1 to 3 years, even 1 year, like, it took forever. But now, like, we're I'm at an age. I don't know if you can relate yet, Green Ethan, because you're still considerably younger than I am. But once you get to be, you get to be in your 20s. Oh my god. Five years goes by in the blink of an eye, I tell you. And yeah, I noticed, like, when, I'm not going to count Freezeria Deluxe, because it never had holidays before Deluxe, We had to get a whole new lineup for Freezeria. But, Pizzeria Deluxe. We only got one new holiday. All the other holidays were the same, but Easter got replaced with the Big Top Carnival. I don't mind the holidays getting, some of the holidays getting replaced in Mokuria Deluxe, but, you said it yourself, Green Ethan, but the holiday lineup for that game is already pretty solid. I even predicted, like, the holiday lineup, not fully correctly, but almost correctly. I remember predicting we would get Easter for April and Cherry Blossom Festival for May, but instead we got Cherry Blossom Festival in April, and then, for May we got Cinco de Mayo. That was the only two areas where I was wrong on. But every other month I got it correctly. I was even correct about Sugarplex Film Fest, tying into the plot. And then, I knew Groove Stock would be a callback to Zoe, because she wanted to open up a coffee shop. And then, her favorite holiday is Groove Stock, so. Yeah. Although, it was kind of a missed opportunity to have her as a chef. I know Flipline sometimes picks the chefs, or if you want to be more fun with it, Papa Louie, but alright, I want to remember the date in case I never catch a coelacanth, but it's February 11th at 8 o'clock-ish. Alright, and like I said, I'll come back and forth. Oh my goodness, please. Please. Just let me catch these damn fish. I need to fill up my bugs and fish and sea creatures. But yeah, if only Zoe was a chef for the Mokuria game. That would be awesome. Okay. Hold on, let me turn this down a little bit, so... Because the quiet nibbles, they do tend to fool me. Alright, here we go. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Alright, fine, fine. We needed that too. Yeah, oarfish are pretty good too. They're, you know, tunas sell for 8,000. Oarfish sell for 9,000, but the coelacanth sell for a whopping 15,000. Yeah, you gotta have, like, freaking the reflex of like, Sonic to catch these fish. Plus, it might be the input lag, I don't know. Okay, yeah, that's too small to be a coelacanth or a tuna. We need a coelacanth and a tuna. Those are the other big fish that we need that we can get in winter. Tuna is a winter fish, but there are still summer fish that are the same size that we'll need to catch. But we can also catch those at Tortimer Island. Oh my god. Hold on. Emulation speed. I turned it down a little bit. Maybe that will help. It might not lag, but it might feel the same as it lagging, but if it helps, then I'll keep it. I've caught coelacanth on this emulator before. I think sometimes it just takes a while. I feel bad cheating to get like a golden fishing rod or even a silver fishing rod. Alright. Okay. Oh, okay. It just... Okay, fine. Okay, well, we need a tuna too. If I can catch a coelacanth, I'll probably turn it back onto normal speed. Matter of fact, I'll turn it up a little bit. We'll bring the speed to 95. If that still doesn't work, then I'll... Can you get out of the way, you pathetic little fish? I'm trying to catch a coelacanth. Oh my god, please. Thank you. But yeah. What I was saying is, You know, hopefully you know, I'm assuming they're only gonna replace one holiday like they did in Pizzeria Deluxe. I'm just gonna assume that for now. And, you know, as much as I do love New Year's because it's just so colorful and almost whimsy in a way. But, you know, I am curious to see how Lunar New Year would work in a Sweets Gameria, since we've only ever got it in Pastaria. Unless it's only a one Gameria vein. I don't know why though, like why it should only be a one Gameria vein. I can understand that for like the Rumano wedding, you know, in Sky Ninja Returns. Something that ties into like the plot or well, you know what I mean. Sugarplex Film Fest is an exception, but you know, there are certain holidays that only work for like one specific Gameria and their versions. Is that a... Yeah, that's just a sea bass. Sometimes it gets hard to tell, like, they blend into each other. Yep, just another stupid sea bass. Alright, let's go back to the river. Like I said, we'll go back and forth so this doesn't become too tedious, I guess. But yeah, you know, Lunar New Year, though, like, I feel like it could work for just about any game, you know? I don't understand why it has to be specific to Portellini or Pastaria to go. Since, you know, we got the regular one in the original, the web version. Alright, how do my pockets look? Alright. Rudy, what do you want? I have no idea why the streamfish aren't showing up. At least the coelacanth, you know, they're probably the ones showing up, because I can't catch them even if I'm, like, just a freaking microsecond too late to reel in my rod. You know, this game is... And again, it could be just because of the emulator, but, you know, I had this issue even when I was playing on a proper 3DS as well. But, like, you know, sometimes the window you get between you clicking the button and it being too late is very, very small. Like I said, it's only like about a fraction of a second. I'll probably go back to the other beach area, because sometimes, you know, fish will spawn on there, so you gotta either see if like you have like a coelacanth, or you gotta scare away the fish. Because I think only a certain number of fish can, you know, spawn at a time, so you have to scare them away in order to, you know, get new fish to spawn. Same with like the bugs. You either have to catch them or scare them away. Some bugs can't not be scared away. Like butterflies, for example. They just kind of fly around carelessly, so you kind of have to just catch them. Alright. Fuck off. I said fuck off, thank you. But yeah. There's also another game that I've been looking forward to, like, for, like, literally, like, years now. I think I mentioned this briefly, but it's called Chibimation. And, you know, there isn't really much to do in that game, but, oh my goodness. Like, you know, the gacha games, like, where you, like, you know, dress up, make OC, you know, the dressed up gacha games. Well, that's basically what Chibimation is, but oh my goodness. They are doing so much more with it. You know, we're gonna have like a lot of like assets to use for our characters. We're gonna be able to, you know, it's behind a paywall to prevent misuse, but you'll be able to buy a feature where you can import your own like clothing and accessories and backgrounds and scene props. Oh my goodness. And my friend Ashton, I don't know if he still plans on doing this, but he said that he may open up commissions for scene props, because, you know, I don't really consider myself a good, you know, drawer, you know. There are ways that I am, like, you know, an artist, but when it comes to drawing, you know, it's just not something. Alright, we'll turn this down a little bit more. We'll go 85%. See if that helps. Because I did hear some people said that turning down the speed will help a little bit, so hopefully it does. But yeah, I consider myself a good artist when in other areas, writing, editing, but not so much when it comes to drawing. So, that will be useful. Because there is something called Star Pass. But, it's a monthly subscription. That isn't a one-time payment. But, people will be able to, post assets on there, so you can use assets from, like, several other people. And I'm definitely going to be trying that out. I definitely want to try out the Star Pass. Because, this game isn't even out yet, and then, the developers have already grown quite a reputation around it, so just imagine all the people who will get Star Pass and, upload their own assets. You may even be able to, like, recolor them like you can the normal assets. It's honestly gonna be insane. Like I said, there isn't really much else to do in this game, like, but oh my goodness. We're gonna have, like, so much creative freedom. I'm definitely gonna make, like, OC reference bios once this game releases. I'll post them on DeviantArt. Green Ethan, I know you don't really use DeviantArt anymore, but I'll post them on Discord too, so you'll be able to see them from my area. I wanna see the camp. I wanna see the camp. Gulliver can have Lizzie the Lobster. I can have Colin the Coelacanth. Or Craig the Coelacanth. I don't know. I've always liked the name Craig for some reason. What do you want? I probably have something in my pockets. You tell me! You're the one pinging me for... You're the one that has pinged me like 3 or 4 times. What the heck, Rudy? This game... This game is supposed to be relaxing, but sometimes it gets me riled up. I don't know if that was a coelacanth or a sea bass, or... Oh, just another tuna. Tunas are really good in, you know, in themselves, but they can be kind of disappointing when you're trying to catch that awesome ass coelacanth that I love so much. Oarfish. Same with the oarfish. You know, they're pretty good. You know, they're very valuable, but it's just when you're trying to catch a coelacanth, you get like really excited, like when you're like in the rain or well maybe I'll say snow specifically because they're winter fish, and then you like reel it in successfully, but you're like, oh my gosh, finally, it's a coelacanth, and then it's just a tuna or an oarfish, and then you're just like, oh. That's why I don't really say anything until, like, I know for sure what it is, until it's, like, revealed. Okay. Oh. Tuna or fish, you guys are good fish and all, but I just need a coelacanth. I might wait until another month to catch a coelacanth, because, you know, I think there are some times of the year where you can only catch a coelacanth. Well, not only a coelacanth, but just, you know, out of the really large fish in the beach, you know, only you know, it'll only be coelacanths. I might just do that, but oh my gosh, but the string fish though they just don't want to budge for some reason. I don't know why they're not showing up. You know, I know their months, you know, their time frames, but they just do not want to show up for some reason. I don't know what it is. Actually, let me look something up. Hold on. Because there may only be in the specific fish in the river, because in New Horizons, you can only catch them in elevated areas. Alright, it just says river. Hold on, let me find a more detailed wiki. Nope. Hold on. Alright, river. Yeah, it just says river. I figured maybe I needed to look in a specific place in the river, just like with New Horizons, but no, apparently they're just stubborn as mules. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Mokuria to go. And definitely Chibimation. I'm probably going to be more focused on Chibimation because, you know, I've been looking forward to it for years, but I'm still really looking forward to Mokuria Deluxe as well. Oh, you're just a stupid little sea bass. Eee! I think sea bass should be extinct from the Animal Crossing series. Oh, now you're gonna go all the way over there, so I can't scare you away. Yeah. You coward. I freaking hate sea bass so much. Go away. They're not even my #1 most hated fish. I think my #1 most hated fish is the horse mackerel. Because I have to catch, like, thousands of them before I finally catch a barrel eye. And barrel eyes aren't in this game, thankfully. They're only in New Horizons, so... We'll worry about those later. At least Rudy's not pinging me anymore. A dace. By all means, take it. I don't like dace. They're boring. Of course. They say they're gonna treasure it forever, but they always replace their furnitures, including their pets. Like, you know, like their fish or their bugs or their deep sea creatures. I really need a stringfish. I really need a coelacanth. Why won't you come to me? Like I said, I'll probably worry about... I may think about just waiting to look for a coelacanth. That way I don't have to get duped by those oarfish and those tuna. Because like I said, you know, they're pretty good fish, you know. They're pretty valuable and rare, but it's just when you're trying to, like, specifically look for a coelacanth, they can kind of bring the mood down. So yeah, I'll probably I was actually I've been reluctant to do another episode for this very reason. Because I know you probably get secondhand frustration by watching me go back and forth on my river, not being able to get a stringfish to spawn for some reason. Same with the coelacanth. Plus the input lag. The input lag for these fish is absolutely atrocious. It's just a sea bass. Right? Yeah. Oh my god. Go away, smaller fish. Can you please hook onto my fishing rod? Yeah, please go away. Oh my goodness, these fish are blind, I swear. please. Cooperate, please. Please, just please. Yes! 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 We got a fill account! Guys, we got one! I'm sorry if I'm being too loud. I'm just excited. Alright, guys. Alright. Now, we're an hour and 6 minutes in. You know, I think that's a good time. I think that's a good way to end it off. My dad always told me to end it off on a good note. So, I will see you guys in the next episode, and hopefully we'll be able to catch a stringfish. Then, I will see you guys later. Yes, I'm so happy we finally caught it. We don't have to come back another time now. Goodbye.